36 past the hour, 3 Israeli military officials familiar with the conditions in Gaza tell the New York Times Palestinians in the territory face widespread starvation unless access to aid is restored within weeks. Israel has insisted on its blockade on Gaza, which has been in effect since early March. It does not threaten civilians despite famine warnings from the UN. Joining us now, Dr. Aqsa Durrani. She's a board member of Doctors Without Borders, and she just returned to the U.S. from an assignment in Gaza, working at a field hospital. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Can you tell us what you saw in that hospital?
What I saw was the manifestation and the result of these inhumane policies that you've just mentioned. We, in our trauma field hospital, we saw children who were starving and hungry already. And in the ICU where I worked, even early on in the siege, we had a 1-year-old infant who had presented with burns resulting from an airstrike. And at that point, the cost of food was already prohibitive for vulnerable families. So his nutritional status overwhelmed, it led to an infection, and then he ended up succumbing to his injuries. He died, and he was killed by this. So already we are seeing children who are impacted by this starvation. I also had another 4-year-old patient who was also admitted for burns after an airstrike, whose mother was begging me for more food. And I had to tell her, I had to look her in the eyes and say, I don't have any, we don't have any additional food to give him. And this is unconscionable, given that there is food just miles away, being blocked by the Israeli authorities. It's systematic, it's deliberate, and it's cruel.
Dr. Durrani, thanks for being with us this morning. Where is the food coming from that they're getting at all, the people of Gaza, these children you're talking about, these families? If those humanitarian shipments aren't making it in, what's the source of their food?
I'll tell you that I was there for a few months, and for 5 weeks or 6 weeks before I left, I didn't see a single fruit. I didn't see any, natural sources of protein like chicken or eggs. The sources of food that people have right now are processed canned foods that that they may have had from before, but all of that is dwindling. We are seeing that even our staff, even the doctors, nurses, everyone who's working at the hospital are eating 1 meal per day. And they are still those are the conditions that they're living in and providing care for their community.
Doctor, the New York Times is reporting that some Israeli military officials are concluding that Gaza is on the brink of starvation. You were there for a few months. How much did you see the situation deteriorate while you were there, and how close do you think Gaza is to people starving to death?
I can tell you that we have already seen, it is already too late. Every day that this continues, it is criminal. It is criminal. I have no other words. We have already seen that, like I said, that children and women and men, that the people are suffering from this inhumane siege. And what is so, makes this even more criminal is that their tiny bodies are being ravaged by airstrikes, and then we can't even manage to provide them with more food. We have already seen these impacts. We've already heard of deaths from malnutrition. We've already heard of deaths all across the Strip. We are screening more and more children for malnutrition. So, while we wait for this classification, we are each day is it's just too late. I have no other words.
Dr. Durrani, this is David Ignatius in Washington. I want to just ask you, The pressure of denying food and water to the people of Gaza is obviously intended to force some sort of political change where people will demand an end of the war. Is that happening in Gaza? How do people react to these terrible conditions that you're describing?
People are exhausted. I mean, there is no aspect of life in Gaza that has not been touched by the violence. People are traumatized. This is exactly what international humanitarian law was intended to stop. We are witnessing, the Israeli authorities using aid as a bargaining chip, using aid as a weapon of war, and this is exactly what the international framework that we have been our organization has been providing aid under this framework for decades. I have personally been doing this for decades, and this framework is being mocked before our eyes. I mean, we are witnessing Israel using starvation as a weapon of war.
Dr. Durrani, this is Elizabeth Buemiller from the New York Times. I wanted to ask you, you said that food is only a few miles away. Is it just sitting there behind a blockade? I mean, how can you see it? And what are you all, you said you only eat one meal a day. Where does that food come from? Is that stockpiled?
Yeah, I mean, so when I entered, we actually saw the trucks that were lined up at the border, waiting to enter. It's just surreal to look and see these trucks beyond the field of vision, that they're lined up farther than the eye can see. And yes, like I said, people are eating right now sources of food that are whatever they can find, canned food, things that are non-perishable, but people are having more and more trouble finding food. I every day I'm hearing more, I just returned, but I just heard from another staff member that he's having difficulty finding food for his children. And it's becoming increasingly impossible to find any sources of food.
Doctors Without Borders board member, Dr. Aqsa Durrani, thank you very much for coming on the show today and telling the story of your experience there and for your work in Gaza. Really appreciate it.
David Ignatius, I'm just curious. Obviously, what's happening in Gaza not only is causing deep concern with international relief groups like the United Nations, Doctors Without Borders, but obviously talk about the growing concern inside of Israel itself. Of course, the New York Times report was not based on Gazan health officials. It was based on Israeli generals and their growing concerns about the situation there. Take us inside Israel and talk about the growing concern about the humanitarian meltdown in Gaza and the possible approaching of famine.
Joe, for nearly a year, senior officials of the Israeli military have been telling me and others that they think that the military goals in Gaza have largely been achieved, and it's time to move to a system of governance. The shorthand is the day after the war, and to think about how you'd get non-Hamas Palestinians in a position that they could take responsibility for law and order, for distribution of food, all these basics. And the governor, Bibi Netanyahu, simply has refused to deal with these issues for political reasons. It's a very fragile coalition, has right-wing members who don't want to see that. And so we move forward month by month, with this situation getting more and more desperate for the people without a plan for what comes next. And what I hear from Israeli military officials, the security officials, the people who are closest to this war, is increasingly a sense of just, they're desperate. One of them said to me, we don't know how to communicate our fears about the future. We don't have anybody to talk to. The political leadership in Israel won't listen to us. So I think that the beginning of getting out of this terrible tragedy that Dr. Durrani described is having a clear path for moving to post-war Gaza in which there's some stable leadership with non-Hamas Palestinians. That's the basic. It's got to be done. That's something I'd hope our ambitious president would turn his mind to. It's absolutely necessary because people are dying.
The Washington Post, David Ignatius, and writer-at-large for the New York Times, Elizabeth Bumiller. Thank you both very much for coming on this morning.